But this meeting really started, Mike and I connected almost 4 years ago at a Civil Rights Commission hearing and some discussions about the work that we were doing with Meijer. And Mike had a vision for what this could be. And when you sit here and you see this meeting and all the businesses that have come together, it really is, we use this word inspirational, but it's inspirational for me as a leader to see how everybody is coming together. In the program, for me, at the end, I'm responsible for the call to action. And I take a lot of responsibility with that because I think it's very important. Why did we just spend the last 2 hours of this morning? Why did the lieutenant governor, and the governor would have been here if he could have been here, and the great speakers like Rich and Garrett showing up? It's to make a difference and to do something. And I have to go back to my own experience, and I talked about this last year in my keynote speech, in that this is difficult. And for me, this journey started 5 years ago. And our first keynote speaker was Randy Lewis, Senior Vice President for Walgreens. And Randy had been giving presentations all across the country. And for those of you that don't know Randy's story, hopefully you're soon going to know it. We're going to give you some information on that. But I was sitting in a room just like this. I had heard a message just like this. I sat in that chair and I was inspired. I was excited about it. I thought, wow, this is something we could do at Meijer. And I went home, I went back to work, and what happened? The daily priorities started to hit me. All the things that we had to get done kind of started back up again, and the next thing you know, I'm 6 months later and we did nothing. And so what we wanted to do today is say that can be different. It took me another presentation. It just so happened about 6 to 8 months later, I'm in another conference, and there's Randy. I cannot get away from the guy. And he's giving this presentation. And if you haven't heard Randy speak, he is an inspirational speaker. And I said in that presentation, I am not going to go back and not take this to my company. I went back that very next day, sat down with our CEO and said, this is something that I want to do. I want to sponsor it. And it takes that kind of leadership. And that's what we're talking about here today. We really do not want you to leave. Do not be me in that first scenario. Do not leave today if you're a business and not take this back and do something about it. It can make a huge difference for your company. And hopefully you've heard the message that this is not about charity. This is about equal work for equal pay. It can be good for your business, but it can also be good for your company and for your culture. So I could sit here and I could talk about all the stats and turnover and what we see, but I can tell you what gets me the most excited is when I walk into my facilities and I see the teamwork and I see the difference that it makes when you start having an inclusive environment, and how not just people with disabilities, but your other long-term tenured people, how they feel about it, how they feel about the company that they work for. It can be transformational in your organization. So I want to ask you today, I want to plead with you because, again, I have the call to action. If you are a business, we wanted to make it easy for you today. One of the things that the governor has done and the lieutenant governor has worked to really align these agencies so that you can have that one point of contact. When I started this, we didn't have that. I went back, I didn't know about Peckham. I didn't know that there were other businesses in the state. I didn't know about what MRS had to offer, but we started it anyways. Those barriers have been changed for you. We can make it easy and seamless. We can get you one point of contact, one representative that will sit down with you and at least just hear what the possibilities could be. And so what we wanted to do today, if you're a business here and you've heard this message and it's something that's inspiring to you, please, we want you to make sure that you do not leave today without at least leaving a card or filling out your survey with your name, company, and your phone number. And we will make contact with a person that's designated that can be that one single point of contact. And one of the things that we wanted to do to end the session today is we wanted to give you a gift. And so I talked about Randy Lewis earlier, and he was really an inspiration for me. And Randy wrote a book. Randy has retired. He has a son with autism, Austin. Austin works for Meijer in our new Wisconsin DC, doing a great job. But he wrote a book. He's been on Good Morning America, Today Show. He's made the rounds. It is an exceptional book, and it speaks to everything that we've been talking about today. And so what we're going to do is, to close, we're going to bring these up. So before you leave, for the businesses that are here, we're going to bring these books up to you. You're going to get a complimentary copy of that. If at the time you get that, if you could just hand your business card or your name and number, that would be great, because we really want to take this from this meeting and take it out into the business community. You have support. We want to give you that support to help you to be successful. So with that, thank you for coming. We really appreciate your time and attention. Have a great day.